Texas, where the land stretches beyond the horizon and the night carries sounds most people never hear, my uncle's farm was torn apart overnight by a horde of wild boars. This wasn't the first time he'd dealt with hogs. He was a seasoned hunter, born and raised in the countryside, and no stranger to things that lurk in the dark. But this time was different. This time, the pigs didn't sneak around the edges of his property. They marched straight across it like an invading army. They shredded fences, dug trenches through his fields, uprooted crops, and left destruction so widespread it looked like a storm had hit only his land. Even for him, an old-school Texan who handled problems with grit and a rifle, the situation was overwhelming. With no other choice, he called in our hunting crew for backup. We arrived before sunrise, each of us carrying years of hunting experience and just enough confidence to believe we could handle whatever came our way. After finalizing the plan, we began our hunt right on my uncle's property. To lure the boars in, we set up automatic feeders at strategic points across the farm. This scent of the feed drifted through the warm Texas air, and it didn't take long. One by one, then group by group, the pigs arrived, snorting, grunting, and digging through every last grain dot with her guard down. Maris positioned herself perfectly. She took a slow, steady breath, locked onto her target, and whispered her own countdown. 1, 2, 3, fire. A single clean shot cut through the silence. The boar dropped instantly, her precision turning a dangerous animal into a motionless shape on the ground. At the same moment, my buddy Inda and I spotted a few more boars lurking nearby, testing the air with their snouts. I leaned forward, closed in silently, and picked my target. My fingers squeezed the trigger smooth, controlled. The lead pellet from my air rifle struck the boar's side. It let out a sharp cry, stumbled, and collapsed. It wasn't a massive victory, but it hit me with an adrenaline rush that fired me up for the long hunt ahead. With strength and numbers on our side. We spread out across the area, each of us covering different zones to maximize our chances. Every shot counted. Every decision mattered. Our mission was simple, but brutal: drop as many as possible before nightfall. By the next afternoon, the Texas heat had thickened, and the scent of dust hung heavy in the air. We resumed the hunt across my uncle's property. As soon as we arrived, we saw a sizable group of full-grown boars standing frozen in the open, their eyes fixed on us with a wary intelligence. I lifted my rifle, brought one into the crosshairs, and fired. It fell instantly. We moved toward another feeder we'd pre-positioned earlier. The boars there oblivious, caught in the invisible trap of their own hunger. I climbed up a tall stand, steadied my breathing, and waited for the perfect angle. One smooth motion, one squeeze of the trigger, and the sharp crack of the rifle echoed across the farm. The boar dropped in a heartbeat dot as the sun dipped lower. We spread more feed and used every trick we had to keep the hogs coming. No matter where they wandered, I tracked them, creeping closer, hiding behind thick brush, watching from the shadows. When my target stepped perfectly into range, I didn't hesitate. Another shot? Another clean drop dot. When night finally swept across the land, we returned to our enclosed hunting blinds for the final round. Darkness changes everything. The sounds, the movement, the threats. But the hogs didn't stop, so neither could we. I picked my position, steadied my aim, and fired as soon as the moment felt right. The shadowy figure jerked, staggered, and then lay still on the ground. Texas has battled wild hogs for centuries. They first arrived in the late 17th century, just a handful of stray animals. But centuries of breeding turned its small number into a population of over 2 million, causing more than $500 million in agricultural and environmental damage every year. With the situation spiraling, Texas authorities took drastic measures, organizing helicopter hog hunts, turning the open sky into a battlefield. Right at 4 p.m., our chopper lifted off. The helicopter's blades carved through the air, the thundering vibration pulsing through our bodies. This wasn't just hunting. It was warfare against one of the most destructive, invasive species in America. "Look over there," someone shouted over the rotor noise. A massive herd, dozens of hogs, was sprinting across open land. I loaded my rifle, held it steady despite the constant shaking, and took aim. The roar of the engine merged with rapid gunfire as I fired the opening shots.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.